Welcome to T-Boys TV. Back again with another Hatter Show, obviously episode 83. And in today's one, it's not going to be hella transfers that we're going to be talking about. Obviously, we're going to talk about new players that come in, like Cambia and etc. Played the other day, of course, but obviously in today's one, just be reviewing the Stoke game. Got another win, nice, at home, and then obviously previewing a big game, big chance to get to the next round. Obviously, tomorrow in the FA Cup. Obviously, he'll be previewing it today. Like always, join with my dad. How are we, Dad?
Yeah, good, mate. You?
Yeah, I'm decent. Just love seeing certain excuses certain managers make when they lose to Luton. It's just laughable at this rate. And I'm sure we'll briefly get into that. But obviously, at the weekend, I went to another game. And that was obviously against Stoke at home. Going into it, we were both confident that we could get a win, and obviously we did. I said 2-1. You said 2-0. You was debating whether to say 1-0 now. I remember you saying that you nearly got it spot on, closer than me. But yeah, the lineup, obviously when it come out, was Ethan, Burke, Lockyer, Bell. Bell was playing as the left centre-back again. And then Cody on the right, Doherty on the left of the wing-backs. And in the midfield was Campbell, Ruddock and Clark ahead. So the usual midfield we see in the league. And then up front, which was expected again, Morris and Elijah. My only thing, I think I went different. Or I might have said, I can't remember if I said start Burke instead of Osho. But I know in the midfield I definitely said potentially starting the new signing from Villa instead of Ruddock. But then again, it was one of them where, I was obviously, proven wrong in that sense because Ruddock had a good game. And it's not because I didn't want to drop him or anything. It's just, new signing. I thought it worked very well with Campbell. But we'll see more of that in the future. But yeah, other than that, I pretty much expected it. And obviously the bench was Berry, Nakambia, Fred, Osho, Shea. Good to see Shea back on the bench as well, by the way. Josh Taylor, who I was surprised about. I thought he'd potentially, start being in the development sort of squad and that. I didn't expect him to be on the bench, I'll be honest. And then Woodrow. So, yeah, that was a lineup. Good bench as well. Got options all over the place, which we haven't had at some points this season. But, yeah, I was happy with that lineup. Your thoughts on that lineup, Dad?
Yeah, I thought Ruddock weren't going to get dropped. He's been playing really well recently, and yeah, other than that, it was about spot on really. Potts obviously still injured, so Bell was going to start in that position. Dre May was going to start obviously again. So and strong bench. Woodrow was put on the bench, which you need, and then obviously Taylor's going to be that could change going forward, but we'll see, because we've lost two strikers, so two attacking, one striker and one attacker. So, but that's fine.
Yeah, yeah, no, absolutely. Like I said, a lot of players are expected to be in it. We're in it. Obviously, we know it's always going to be Elijah and Morris up front, unless obviously one of them got an injury late on. Obviously, touch wood, that don't happen at some point this season either. But yeah, I'll go through some comments. Big up everyone inside, quite a lot of people inside. Big up to yourselves. Late Boys TV, yeah, it's back again. We was on time yesterday for the stream, and then back down a little bit, but there we go. Big up Stephen, he says big up Ty. Big up yourself, mate. Big up Spencer as well, saying hello to everyone. And say hello to you as well, Dad.
Big up.
Stephen saying big up as well. Up the town, yeah, you already know, or up the town, as you say there. So yeah, big up Wolf as well. And whoever this is, big up yourself, big up to me. So yeah, there we go with that. And then moving on to the first half. Obviously, the first little clip on the vlog was the goal. Obviously, we did score early on. Pelly Ruddock, the guy only scores bangers. He only scores bangers. A lot of you in the chat saying, you know, he shouldn't be dropped. I remember going into this game, Stephen being one of them. And what a goal it was. Pelly Ruddock, do you know what I mean? Coming in with another banger for Luton, wasn't it, Dad?
Yeah, great finish. You know, he's on like he's loving at the moment. You know, obviously, like what the referee was shit in the first half, especially, but you know, because it's definitely a foul. And, you know, he thought but he didn't wave play on. So if we'd have lost control there, or whatever, we wouldn't even have got free kick for that blatant push on Elijah. But whatever, Pelly took control, steamrolled it forward, mate. Beautiful finish into the bottom right hand corner. Great finish. Great finish.
Yeah. The celebrations were even colder.
Yeah. You know, because he always comes up with one or two,
Yeah.
especially when he is enjoying his football. And it is harder up the further up the levels you go. Do you know what I mean? So I was really pleased for him, and like just love seeing him on the pitch now at the moment. Do you know what I mean? So and added all a good game as well. So yeah, scored early, and from then I felt like, you know, it's back to before, like, well, under Nathan Jones, there was quite a lot of times when we took the lead and we wouldn't lose the game. Well, we go on to win it, and it seems to be a bit of that going on again at the moment, which is good. Just need to start. It's hard in the Championship. Just I keep going back to it. We just need to give some people good ideas. Do you know what I mean? But I'm sure that'll come at some point.
Yeah. No. Hopefully, we will see with that one. And saying that, I mean, the last team we did give a really good hiding was Coventry, and we do have them on Saturday. So you never know. It could be that thing. But we'll see. Obviously, we'll get into that nearer the time as well. I'll get in some more comments, and then obviously I will say my thoughts on the half. Like I said, yeah, no, you did, to be fair. And there you go. You was proven right there. So there we go with that. But yeah, there's that. And then my thoughts on the first half. Yeah, pretty similar, to be fair. You know, I felt we was, you know, pretty much in control for most of it, getting that goal really early. It was one of them where it wasn't a sense of, you know, like the West Brom game, for example, you know, where they were coming back into it. Stoke, I wouldn't really say they caused too much from what I can think of from the top of my head. You know, I'm thinking of that moment in the second half, but all day, every day, that's a foul on Ethan. Do you know what I mean? Other than that, I don't really think they, you know, come at us too much or really cause too much.
You know, I think what it was,
and I think we was just really good in control. You know, the way we were passing the ball around, we was exceptional.
Yeah.
Especially the
first 10, 15, 20 minutes or whatever. Yeah, we were passing it around. We looked good. You know, confidence from them players at the moment. They believe that they can go up. You can see it. So that ain't gonna change, really. You know, we got obviously, I think we've got to play Burnley and Sheffield United, you know, but so's everyone else. I think they've got to play each other as well. So it could be interesting if we can go on or continue to run, really, we've been on, then we look good, you know. And normally, you know, we've discussed it in the playoffs before. If you finish in the top 3-4, that's normally the team that does get promoted via the playoffs. Do you know what I mean? So we'll see. But it's exciting times, definitely.
Yeah, no, 100%. If you're a Luton fan right now, you've got to be, you know, loving it at the moment, because we are, for sure. Do you know what I mean? You know, just, you know, when you deep it, how far we've come. You know, like I said, the players we're now attracting to sign, you know, like the Cambia, etc. It just shows the position we're in now as well, and that sort of team we are trying to be in the Championship, and obviously try and progress. Stephen says first half we didn't look in any danger. We forced them long range apart from once. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like their shooting was absolutely just garbage, to be honest. I remember that shot. I know exactly what one you're on about, where they went for the shot, didn't they? And I always knew it was going wide. Where I was sitting, I always knew it was going wide. I wasn't faced. I know Ethan would have had it anyway, to be honest. So yeah, there we go with that one. But yeah, I suppose that's really it on the first half. Something I would like to say though is obviously the player that did come off for Stoke. Speedy recovery and all of that, because that didn't look too great. And obviously, big up to all the Luton fans. Obviously, clapping him when he come off. Obviously, I was part of that as well.
He was miffed, but I had the benefit of watching the replay, and that it was a yellow card tackle, but it wasn't like the when he hurt himself. It wasn't the contact; it was the way he went down, and he sort of landed on his foot, and that's what done the damage, and that's done.
Yeah, obviously.
He was a bit petulant when when Cody tried to apologise or whatever. But it is what it is. Maybe he knows he's going to be out for a while, and it's just people react in different ways. So just give him the benefit of the doubt is what it is. But get on with it. I've seen Luton players get proper bad injuries from players and that. Do you know what I mean? In the past.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
That is what it is.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But yeah, that's really it from the first half. On that, moving on to the second half, obviously we saw the Cambia come on. Obviously for Campbell, made some changes, brought on Fred, Stephen's favourite player. Do you know what I'm saying? For Cody, and to be honest, it was just one of them where I just felt we were in control for most of the game. Stoke didn't really.
They stepped it up. They were a bit more competitive, but the players that we brought on, they've done the business. Especially Fred.
That's the thing. Yeah.
Looking decent, and he's coming on now. He
is. Yeah.
And he's loving it again. Do you know what I mean? And this is it. There's that whole squad mentality. That's what's happening. And even the new lad that come on, he was a lot more calmer on the ball. Whereas we was like, is he going to get, or is he going to not get to that, or whatever, or pass it? And he was, because he's got that Premiership quality.
Yeah.
He just needs to build up his game time, and I'm sure he'll be all right. And that's what'll happen. In Championship, I expect him to probably start on the bench a couple of times and see what happens. But it's going to be hard for him to cut midfielders out already. Do you know what I mean?
True.
It's the depth. The defensive midfielder. We have wanted one for quite a while, to be honest.
Yeah.
Campbell's not really. He's a box-to-box midfielder for me. He's not really.
Yeah, I agree.
That sitting at the back, just spraying passes around and breaking up the play. That's the sort of player that you need, especially when you go to the higher levels, and that's what this guy is. So, got him.
Yeah, no, 100%. I totally agree with that.
It was good when he come on as well. Unlucky with.
Obviously, he come on up front this time.
Yeah. Hungry. Do you know what I mean? And he will. I want him to start banging in the goals. I do.
Yeah. 100%.
Hopefully he'll start tomorrow.
Yeah. And he scored actually in the last three he played, didn't he? Against Wigan. And he had a few chances before that, didn't he?
I expected to probably start tomorrow.
I think I know. Obviously, we're getting to lineups later for tomorrow, but yeah, I reckon a lot of. I think I know a lot of players that will play that are going to be rotated for this game, if that makes sense. Thinking from the top of my head. But yeah, that is that. Really on that, and it's like one of it. It's like what Stephen says here. Stoke huffed and puffed. That's how I saw it as well.
but it's difficult for them though, wasn't it? Because the pitch is a bit too small. You know.
Yeah,
I haven't heard that one for a few years, but you know, it's might be slightly smaller, but they, you know, they're well within fucking FA regulations. So sharp.
Alex O'Neill, by the way, if you don't know, that's what he said. The Stoke manager.
Uphill. I mean, what did you get? Did you go B&Q before the game and get a fucking, you know, your bubble spirit level out or something? Do you know what I mean? It's a fucking ridiculous comment. So I know.
Oh no, yeah, no, I saw it earlier on this Luton page I follow on Instagram, and I just had to send you it. I just had to be on my story as well. It's just
when Billy scored it, it must have been because it was rolling downhill.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking Eisen or whatever. But yeah. Comments like that. Just
No.
He's getting home to his missus and that. What do you want for tea? Fuck all.
God.
Look up the road. No, I've been up the road already today.
Oh my God. Oh, that is cool. It's true though. It is true. Go through some comments. Yeah, I like this comment, Wolf. Can't wait for Tyler's vlog next season. Luton v Man City away. Oh dear. Obviously, all the madness with Man City.
Yeah, but everyone knows that. I just touched on it briefly, like, because you know it's football related. It's obvious that they've been doing that stuff anyway. But they need to come down hard on these teams because
a lot harder. Yeah, 100%.
Doing. They punish. You know, the teams in the Championship and our leagues and that they get punished for it. They get points deductions. And that straight away, or threat of it, or suspended ones. You can't just keep fining this because that's even more corrupt. Right? Well, if we let you off, you have to give us £25 million, and we'll put it out. Where does that go? Does my head in?
True.
Give them. They won't get demoted from the league. They won't get their trophies taken away from them.
Yeah.
They possibly might get a point deduction.
And in a way, we wouldn't want that because I mean, Scum would win an FA Cup,
and they'll lose their manager, according to him.
He did say
clubs. You know, this is why people moan about Liverpool not signing players and that because they know.
Yeah, to be fair.
And Chelsea be next because they've already,
apparently they're already looking into Chelsea now.
Yeah, they will be. So that's what happens. That's what happens. And Newcastle got to do it the right way. They've got to look at that and go, right, we can't be doing that. It's not fair anyway. But just whatever. I don't know. I'm not bothered that it doesn't affect my club. So
yeah, innit? We'd never move like that. Do you know what I mean? Let's be honest. Never. But yeah, that's that. Jackie says hi, Ty and Daz. I cracked up at that.
Yeah, it's right though, isn't it? Comments from managers. It's just sometimes it's just ridiculous, mate. Do you know what I mean?
Right. That's probably his way of making an excuse because the guy's under pressure anyway. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, but you can't. Why did you get sacked from your last job? Well, I went to a team and the pitch was a bit too small and shut up, mate. You know what I mean?
Oh,
and again, I will like to go on quickly to I know some people don't really give a shit about Nathan Jones and that. What he come out and said, he was talking facts. All right, you can see. I've seen games where he has gone in, not like for Southampton, but he's gone into his shell, and players who have ignored him, got petulant with him. I've seen it, and that is the problem. They don't respect him. Do you know what I mean?
There's only a few at Southampton that do.
All it is. That's all it is. They could get pep in, mate. They might start suddenly playing a little bit better, but ultimately their squad is shit. Yeah,
it's not.
I feel sorry for Bree, but sack him. You get him relegated anyway, and he'll go on.
They're them sort of fans, right? They would look when they used to get pumped week in. Oh no, not week in, week out. Sorry, when they used to get pumped season in, season out with that score, whatever it was, I can't even remember it. It was that ridiculous. If anyone knows, let me know in the comments. They're the sort of ones that go, Nathan Jones' fault.
Well, just they just don't like it because he's stating facts, and that's it. Sack him then. I'm sure he'll get it. And even if you don't, he won't go to another Premier League. He'll go to someone else in the Championship and do the same thing. Do you know what I mean? Because you can't. It was the same at Stoke. Have they improved since he left?
Yeah, exactly. I haven't. Have they?
Since him, have they improved? No, they ain't. And Southampton won't either.
No.
So it just annoys me. I just don't like the disrespect on it. Yeah, there's a whole thing at the club and that, but you can't. I just think it's just ridiculous. And we know he's like that. And it's like, oh, he thinks he's something special. Well, yeah, he's pretty good. Do you know what I mean? Just because he's inherited a shit team, that they have to give him the time. They can't go, oh, because you said this, you've upset a couple of the players. We're going to get rid of you. That's fucking ridiculous. And that's the problem. You get it at a lot of clubs in the Premier League, definitely, especially in the Premier League. I think they're bigger than. Who are you? Like that kind of attitude. I see it in the Championship. Mate boy's doing it to Elijah the other week. Sunderland player. It's that.
Wigan, I mean.
Yeah. You ain't got that. That's what's wrong. So you have to stick by your man and give him the chance. You will get relegated, but he should, with the funds he's got, the players he's bought in, they should be smashing up the Championship next season.
True.
If he doesn't, then maybe you've got a right to get rid of him. But other than that, deal with what's going to come your way. The club's been run like that for years now. They've avoided relegation for the past 3 or 4 seasons.
True.
Even under their manager previous, it wasn't actually that bad, I don't think. So just get a grip. Stop crying. You should have been nipping it in the bud from early and seeing that it wasn't run right and stuff like that. So these new owners or whatever have come in. They're doing what they believe is best, and they have to stick by their man. And obviously, he's admitted. I could see what he was talking about in the interview. I could see it. I mentioned it to you. I remember one player got injured in front of him, and he was trying to, go, "You all right, man?" He just ignored him. Then there was another match where he wasn't doing it. Nathan Jones was shouting at him because he wasn't tracking back in that, and he was just getting, got the ump. Do you know what I mean? If you've got to respect the manager, bottom line. If I went into my job and went, oh, don't talk to me. Do you know what I mean? Who are you? Do you know what I mean? You'll be sacked. They've got too much power. Too much power. So we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. No, 100%. No, I definitely hear what you're saying. 100%. Definitely. And like I said, it goes back to what I said. I think there's only a few players that do respect him. When I say few, I mean like 1 or 2. I know Ward-Prowse does. He definitely does. Yeah, I think he does.
Yeah, I've seen ones that have, because I've seen him when he has one, and they've
congratulations. Who was it? When I watched them against Newcastle in the first leg, I think it was Armstrong or someone like that. He was talking to him he brung him over, Nathan Jones, and he was talking to him.
Yeah. Players who have been there in the Championship, basically, and know what it's about. That's as simple as that.
Yeah. Like I say, it's only a few, but it's just mad. But yeah, it's one of them. Wolf says, Tyler, you got the coolest dad. Obviously, I'm loving it. But yeah, that's that. And then something I do want to mention, actually, I'm going to share my screen for this, is something that Rob Edwards said after the game. It's still going to happen, but fair play for saying it how it is. Where the hell has it gone? Obviously, about this underdog stuff, he said, "I'm not buying." I'll just read the whole thing. So I'm not buying that underdog stuff anymore, was the manager's reply. I don't like it, and our players don't like it because they have really good players here that are capable of playing at a very, very good level, and they're showing that now. And then he puts, "So I want to knock that away at the moment. I get it, and I know from the outside and everything else at the moment, but they're big plans for the club to keep progressing and moving forward. But have got to stress it. I believe in these players. These lads are top players, and they're showing it." Now, it's still going to happen. Let's be honest. We're still going to be
with that. That's my thoughts anyway. Like, but I like the underdog tag because I know that they're good enough. I know that we're not, that we're not punching above our weight and all that nonsense. Yeah, but it helps us because teams just get their knickers in a twist and managers get their knickers in a twist and they're expecting to beat us and then start, you know what I mean? So it does benefit us. And if we get promoted to the Premier League, it will benefit us again, 100%, especially if we're in there with Kenny. So for the time, it will. And then eventually it will go away. It's happened to previous clubs, who wasn't big clubs when they went into the Premier League. I'm talking about Swansea. I remember Swansea were like Division 2, 4, whatever it was at the time. Wigan, Brighton, Bournemouth. Bournemouth were in the same league as us when we got that minus 30-point deduction. They had minus 17-point deduction. They were like that. I was really saying that about them now because they've been in the Premier League a few times. So it will stick. But at the moment, it does help us. So I haven't really, it doesn't bother me. I like it. It doesn't really bother me because I know that the players believe in themselves. I know that everyone in the club believes in what they're doing. So, I don't think we are underdogs, but that won't go. That'll just make people even more go, well, no, you are, So,
yeah, no, I'm the same. Like, it's still going to be there, but I'm like you. I like it because I love the excuses. When
the point.
Look at Alex Neil.
What I'll say is, I was there was a some championship group on Facebook the other day, and they showed the table, and then they were like, someone underneath was like, yeah, it's going to be Middlesbrough and West Brom are flying at the moment, but Blackburn and so will be looking to get in the playoffs as well. No one he didn't go saying Luton are sitting in fourth, mate. Like you just like almost not.
And it's getting to that stage at the moment. Us and Middlesbrough, and obviously the top two.
They're not going to be there. They're not going to be
us and Middlesbrough compared to everyone else so far. Below us, mind the gap, mate. That's what it's looking like.
Yeah, nor the fact that we're in there with a game in hand.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just like someone did put underneath, and Luton, but they didn't even respond to it or nothing. I just thought, bring it on. That's good. You can't see us there. And then you go, well, how did that? That'd be the same sort of fan. They'll turn around, at the end of March or beginning of April and go, how are they there? We've been there all the time, you idiot. Do you know what I mean? So in that's an example of how it does help us. Do you know what I mean? And there's always stupid excuses and it's got Luton's teams. Yeah, they are aggressive, but are they aggressive? They're dirty. Don't really get much yellow cards. I think last season we got one of the lowest amount of bookings. Yeah, we're aggressive, but we're not. We don't just kick everyone off the park like certain teams used to back in the day. So don't like that. You got to utilise it. You got to go. You can't just let teams play.
No, exactly.
They're a good team. You got to stop them playing, and you know what I'm saying. It just makes sense. To get quality players who can just pass teams out of the way, but even that doesn't work sometimes. Football's evolving all the time.
Facts.
VAR doesn't help. All that playing out the back that never used to happen. Things like that. It evolves all the time, so you adapt to it. You forward think it. And that's it. That's what the club realizes, and that's why they will get forward-thinking managers who can fit in with that regime, basically.
Yeah, no, 100%. This is Stephen's thoughts on it. Says, I like that we are going unnoticed. Nobody has talked about us. We are going about our business, and we'll keep doing so. Yeah, exactly, mate. Exactly. And
also, on the last point, there was a geezer who used to play for Aston Villa, Sky Sports pundit. I can't remember what his name is. He does my head in. He was like, at the beginning of the season, now Luton won't be there, this season, like just totally just writing us off as if it's just a fluke that we got there in the first place. Just not looking at statistics, and they do count. And we had a much better home record last season as well. So, just comments like that. It's just like, what are you saying now? Don't dye your hair again, mate, because it might give some more brain cells. But,
yeah, no facts. Lee Hendry.
That's it. That guy, yeah. See that guy. I remember clear as day. No, I can't see him.
Yeah, well, it's just one of them. They just have fat agendas against us.
It's always the ex-Premier League players, isn't
it? Yeah. Facts. But yeah, moving on to the player ratings. Unless there's anything else you'll say generally about our whole game. There we go. Then player ratings. Obviously, we'll start off with Ethan. Obviously, he got fouled. I loved his celebrations at the end. I didn't even see that live. I actually saw it on a video. Yeah, but rightly so. They're probably giving him crap the whole game. I know they were definitely when he was taking goal kicks, which obviously everyone does, but still, got one over them. He probably heard him, slating him behind him. So rightly so. Fair play, Ethan. I didn't expect him to be that type of guy that would do that. But no, throughout the game as well, when he was challenged, which is rare, I would say. Obviously, when it was a foul in that sense. But yeah, I thought it was just another decent game from him, really. Didn't put a foot wrong or anything. Another clean sheet as well for him. I'm going to go with a 7.
I'll give him 7.5 because there was, there was also, he was assured again, when he's always aware when they try and put these shots in from, long range and that, he's always there in the right place. Do you know what I mean? And, he's just assured, I think. And that incident with Burke where, we panicked a bit and he was meant to collect it apparently, but then the defenders kind of got in each other's way, and then I think someone might have said something to Burke or something happened.
Ethan ran over. Yeah.
Calmed him down. Yeah, that
was good.
You want to see that
on the vlog, yeah.
Like that. Yeah. So that gives him that extra. So I'll give him a 7.5.
Yeah. Fair enough. Jackie's gone with the same as well. She's gone 7.5. He said Ethan. Stephen's gone with a 7. He says, love the celebration. Yeah, it's brilliant, mate. Absolutely brilliant. With that. But yeah, moving on. We'll go over to Burke now. Obviously, he's getting into the swing of things again. And yeah, I thought it was a decent performance again. Another clean sheet, of course. I think he works well still. Obviously, a major part we knew when he was playing regularly is obviously he worked well alongside Bree, but seems to be doing that with Cody as well, I'd say. So yeah, decent from Burke. I'm going to go with another 7.
I'll give him 7.5. I could see it. He's getting back to how he was before he got injured and stuff, and he's probably going to end up being first choice. I mean, Osho's come in and done pretty well, but obviously again goes back to training and stuff like that, and he is probably slightly ahead of him, as Nathan Jones used to say, ceiling wise. He's got more to go, if that makes sense. You can, he's ahead of him, I think. But Osho's obviously coming on as well, so he's good to have as well. And he can play anywhere. And that, if Lockie was injured or whatever, then he can play there as well. But yeah, 7.5. I thought it was pretty decent.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Jackie's gone 7.5 as well. Burke looks good as new, 7. Yep, no, he does. He looks good again. He does look good again. Big up Terry joining in as well. He's gone Burke 7. Fair enough, same as me. Wolf kind of disgusting performance too. It's a joke. Moving on to Lockyer. Now I'm going to tell you lot straight up. He's my man of the match. He got it at the ground. And yeah, it's been a few games. As much as I've not put him up in the top 3, top 2, for example, there has been a lot of games where he has been really good and other people have given him man of the match. This game, clean sheet. I thought he was solid yet again. done really well at the back. Obviously, the captain, yet again as well. Brilliant for me. Brilliant for me. As for a rating, I'll go with a go because it is the man of match. Go with an 8.5.
I'm going to give him an 8. I thought he was really good. Captain again. Like I say, clean sheet. Just owning that position at the moment. Back to his best. You know, considering from for the Newport game, keep going back to that. It was a poor performance in that game, but he still scored in that game. But
Yeah,
you know, in his own words, he was like, I don't know, I'm going to get back into his team. So he was immediately dropped and stuff. And since he's got back into the team, he's pretty much been decent. You know, and
top block,
yeah. And he saved us kind of at the end, and you know when that there's that bit of a mix up at the back as well, like he just come rushing in, cleared it away. You know his passing's getting better and he's getting more composed on the ball. Assured performance, 8.
Yeah, fair enough. Jackie's got an 8 as well. Stephen says Lockyer decent again, nothing wrong. 8 exactly, mate, exactly. And then moving over to the left side of the centre backs, another player who had a really good game. And the last 2 games in that position, he's been really good, and that's obviously Amari Bell. You know, usually beforehand, you know, we felt he didn't have the luxury, but obviously Rob Edwards has clearly said to him, you can still go forward and do what you're really good at, you know. And obviously he's been doing that, you know, these couple of games. His passing's been exceptional. You know, he's still taking on the man like we know he does. And yeah, he was really impressive, Bell. I was impressed with him again in that position. So I'm going to have a 7.5.
Yeah, I thought it was one of the best games I've seen him play in that position, definitely, because I felt like but he seems to be improving, excuse me, playing in that position. And yeah, I feel like he's been said, look, you can still go forward, just do it when you need to. The bigger test will come against, you know, more potent attacking teams and stuff, you know, but then you can't really moan at him too much because he is out of position, but we'll see. But I thought he was really good. Like he had a wicked shot in the first half, I think it was.
Yeah, jeez.
Weird because the keeper like almost just saved it as if it was nothing, but that
that power was mad.
You know, if it would have been a couple of feet in front, that might have went in. That would have been a brilliant goal. He was linking up well, you know, with the players on the left hand side and that as well. Like I thought he was really good. I'm going to give him an 8 as well.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Terry's rating for Lockyer is at 8. I don't think I said that, so there you go. Jackie's 7.5 for Bell. Terry's got 8.5 for Bell. Fair enough. Bell is loving life under Edwards. 7.8 says Stephen. Yeah, he is looking. You know, like I said, it looks like Rob Edwards has said to him, you know, you can do, you know, your more, you know, luxury sort of stuff in that sense. What you're good at, as not just because under Nathan Jones felt like he was just more sitting back. Like it felt like he had to do that, whereas Rob Edwards clearly said to him, you can still go forward and.
Well, he would go forward, but it was more direct and more.
Yeah, it wasn't
on the left hand side and
his part. You know, his long range passing wasn't like like Cardiff the other day, for example, where he done that pass straight through the middle. It was more just in front. You know, whereas
like when he first played in the left centre back, he felt like he couldn't really do that as much. But
yeah, exactly.
Working on that, and it can still be done at certain points in the game. Just don't get exposed, and that's it. Like, why not utilise that? He's good at that.
Exactly.
So utilise it, and I think that's helping him. Obviously, it's not his favourite position, but at the moment, he's thin and he's consistent. He's always in the team.
Very.
I rate. I think it's one of our best signings that we've made over the last couple of years.
Definitely up there.
Logically, do you know what I mean? So yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And then moving on to the wing backs, we'll start off with Cody. Obviously it wasn't a standout game in the sense like the other day, but he was still decent. I remember a time in the first half done a backheel pass. That was a nice pass. Lovely bit of skill, taking on his men. Going forward, still trying to provide crosses for us. yeah, I thought he was decent. Obviously, not as standout as the other day, but I still thought he was decent. So as for a rating, I'll go. What I'll go with? I'll go with a 7.
Yeah, I agree. Like he was. So you can see he's got the quality, definitely. He's not afraid to take his man on. He's good at it. His hold up play. He's very athletic, and that. Obviously, the yellow card kind of restricted him a little bit after that. But it was still decent for him. And you got to say, he's like again, he's young. His second game, like quick succession as well.
Yeah.
So I feel a bit harsh giving him 7, but I'm sure that I'll be giving him higher marks in the future, quite a regular basis. So yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Cody worked his socks off. Stoke saw him as a weakling. Didn't disappoint me. Won't be long before he does full 90 minutes. 7.5. Yeah, no, exactly. Obviously, going back to what Dad said there as well, with the yellow card, sometimes you're going to change them up when they're on a card just to not, risk things in that sense as well. Jackie's on 7.5 for Cody. Fair enough. And then Terry's gone with 7 as well. Moving on to the other side, obviously Doherty. Again, another player that linked up well with teammates, making them forward runs. Decent from him again. I'm just going to go with another 7.
Yeah, I agree. Like, same, he's quite consistent with it as well. And he's switching up positions. Again, that's not really his natural position, is it?
No.
And he sometimes switches sides and that, but he's normally effective. He's always a threat. And, he didn't disappoint. 7, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Jackie's gone with a 7.5, which is fair enough. Moving on to the next player, we'll go over to. Should we go over to? We'll go over to Campbell. Again, we know what we expect from Campbell. You know what to expect. He's one of them, and yeah, I thought he was decent yet again. It was just one of them from him, really. It's just one of them. It wasn't, really stand out or bad. Do you know what I mean? So I'm just going to go with another 7.
I'll give him a 7.5. He was more effective than I have seen him in other games. But it's fact, like before, I think sometimes the way we was playing, he had to do that extra work. Well, he doesn't now.
Yeah, true.
But he's still there. He's a willing chaser. He's still trying, chase the ball down because that's part of his game. But he doesn't have to do it as much now. So people taking that as, well, he's not playing as good as he did before and that. But he doesn't have to do that now. We're still controlling games without that having to do that. So he's just adjusting to that, and he's capable of scoring a banger. He's like the next Pelly Ruddock, if that makes sense. You know what I mean, along that sort of vein.
I get what you're saying, yeah.
He's younger, and it is what it is. He's I feel like obviously he'll probably want to start more games, and but I think because he wants to get into the Scotland squad and stuff like that, but. If it just has to, if he doesn't have to chase back that, he's not going to run around like a headless chicken for no reason.
Yeah,
if he doesn't need to do it, he won't do it. But what he has been doing is pretty well, and he's actually getting into good positions and that in the box. I think it's only a matter of time if he scores again. Possibly tomorrow. I expect him to start tomorrow as well. But 7.5.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I definitely hear what you're saying as well, especially with it. The effort levels Ruddock's putting in as well, in that sense as well. So
a lot of that was when Ruddock wasn't playing and that as well, doing all that. So he doesn't have to do it as much, that's all it is.
Yeah, no, 100%. This is Stephen's rating for Doherty and what he's had to say. Just does what he wants whenever he plays, 7.5. Yeah, literally in that sense. Campbell 7. Terry's gone Doherty 8. Great pace. Yeah, he's quick. He is quick. Yeah, that's true. Campbell 7.5 says Stephen, and then Terry's gone with a 7 as well for Campbell. Same as me. Moving on to, we'll go to Ruddock, the goal scorer. A lot of people saying this is why you don't drop him. Stephen being one of them, and a few others. And yeah, wicked goal. Like I said, he only scores bangers. Really good performance yet again from him. If people You know, you could argue him man of the match, and not even just because he scored. You know, he was good after that. I felt as well. His long range passing is getting a lot better in games. I've noticed that as well. You know, the way he switches the ball, etc. Good performance from Ruddock. I'm going to go. Do you know what? I'm going to give Ruddock an 8.
Yeah, well, he's my man of the match, to be honest with you. I like it. So 8.5. You know, good goal, good awareness. Do you know what I mean? He's confidence to go and do that as well. You know, he had another shot towards, you know, in the second half, or whatever. Obviously, sliced it a little bit. Do you know what I mean? But he was just dogged. You know,
For a second, I thought that was him.
Yeah, you know, and winning the ball back, fighting for the cause. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I feel that when he's playing well, everyone else definitely plays well. I think like that was a big contributing factor to that game as well. Because don't forget, we scored early on, so we still had to you know, maintain that and keep consistent. And he was a big part of that. And I just felt it was one of the best games I've seen him play so far this season. So he is my man of the match.
Yep, no, that's fair enough. Like I say, it's close. It's close. You could definitely argue and put him in. That's what I would say as your man of the match. Jackie's gone 7.5 for Ruddock. Ruddock, great shot, was up for this 8. Yeah, exactly, Stephen, exactly. Terry's gone Pelly 8, playing well under Edwards. Yeah, he is. He's playing really well. And another thing I give him massive credit for at the moment as well is his sliding tackles. You know, he always times, all of them well. You know, and he's just looking a lot better. Like I say, his long range passes looking better as well.
What decided it for me, and that sounds silly, but there was another chance where he had, and he muscled his way to get on the ball. He kicked it up, and I think it either took a deflection off the defender or it kicked it back, hit himself full in the face with it.
Oh yeah.
Go for the shot. Do you know what I mean? And I just thought, do you know what? Like just for that, like, because he'd already played well, and sometimes things like that seal it for me. Do you know what I mean? And that's
fair enough.
I just thought, that's Luton through and through. That it's gone, and that's what done it for me. You know, he played to score, and then afterwards he was like, that. But do you know what I mean? But in the moment, he was. Do you know what I mean? He was just. I just like that. You know, and he is like that. That's what, you know, all the other players they do feed off of that. They do.
Yeah.
He's been there, isn't he? You can't deny it. He's been there and he's done it all with us.
Done it all, yeah, literally done it all. There's just one more step, which hopefully
exactly
that'd be insane.
And the only player to ever do that, I believe, possibly.
Yeah, with one cup, I think he will be. I think he actually will.
Believe it.
Unless someone done it proper back in the day, but like no recent time, no way.
Yeah,
no way. So that would just be insane. So we'll see what goes on with that. But yeah, moving on to the last midfielder, Clark. Again, thought it was a decent performance for him. Obviously not a standout in the sense like where he's doing the kick-ups in the middle of the pitch, you know, doing lovely skills and that. But you know, he was controlled. He was still good for me. As for a rating, I'll go for 7.5 for Clark.
Yeah, same. You know, he just looks like he's enjoying it at the moment. He's proper consistent. You know, there was couple games, you know, a few months ago. Do you know what I mean? Where some of his passing wasn't great at times, but this, you know, he's so confident at the moment, and he looks a threat every time he gets on the ball. And you know, and the thing is, when a player plays well like that in the previous game, you know, that gets looked at by opposing managers, and they try and shut you down more. You know what I mean? So that tends to be why they don't play as good in the next game and stuff. You know, that's what happens. You know what I mean? And you stop them kind of threats, but then it opens up other players to you, like them,
to step in and
start getting in a panic, and they can all go forward, and that's what we need at the moment. Do you know what I mean? So we can get them extra goals and that. But as long as we're keeping the clean sheets and you know, getting them wins, you don't have to always play spectacular. Do you know what I mean? It's about get control in the game.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's nice to see when they do, because you know, the higher up you go, you should be able to do them. You know, when you watch certain Premier League teams and that, you're thinking, wow, looking at the passing spot, you know, they know where each other is you know what I mean, all the time. And you can see that sort of develop. He's got that quality.
Yeah. No, he has 100%. Without a shadow of a doubt. You've got to remember, we got this guy for, I always say it, but we got this guy for free as well. You know, he's been that brilliant for us. Yeah, your ratings. Jackie's gone 7.5. Stephen says Clark is like the glue. The most balls go through him. Man of the match. Stephen's man of the match. Fair enough.
The ball does stick to him as well, like a lot now. Yeah, he does. He just have this tendency to just be winning. A bit like Campbell was last season, actually.
True.
But yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And then Terry's gone Clark 7.5. Great little player. No, he is 100%. And then moving on to the two up front. We'll start off with Morris first. You know, I thought it's just one of them. It's like him and Elijah have switched in that sense where now Morris needs that goal. That's what it feels like to me in recent performance. You know, he's still doing decent, but obviously he just needs that goal. Morris, I'll go with Morris. I'll go with it might sound low, but I'll go with 6.5.
I won't go in. I'll give him a 7. Like, all he needs is a goal. That's all it is. You know, that's why we get these niggly injuries. Because he was in full flow. It does sort of stop you in your tracks a bit.
Yeah, that's the other thing. And he was limping in the first half. Got worried.
Yeah, and he had at least a shot in anger, but that wasn't that far away really. After getting fouled consistently, there was moments where he was just getting all grabbed all over, jumped over, and the ref was like, "Nah, it's not a foul." You know, same with Elijah. It's so frustrating because they're both, you know, big guys and that. It's like, well, as soon as they try and win the ball off you, they can't because they're like, you know, big lumps or 6 foot, whatever. Do you know what I mean? And that is frustrating. And you wouldn't really be getting away with that in the Premier League because if they are, would just go, well, no, how's that foul, you know? And we forgot to have that penalty shout on Jordan in. He doesn't really go down, and the geezer did grab hold of him. So I felt that again with VAR that would have been a penalty, but it is what it is. But yeah, I'll give him a 7. He just needs that. He just needs a goal again, and it'll definitely come. And that could be why I'm tempted to start him tomorrow, just so he can get that flow going again. You know.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. I think. When did the goal start for Elijah? It wasn't the FA Cup, was it? No, it wasn't. No, because it was.
I think it might have been against.
Who was it against? Can't remember. If anyone knows in the comments, I just can't remember from the top of my head. I'm usually good at things like that, but I just can't remember who it was. But yeah, your ratings. Jackie's gone Morris 7.5. Stephen says Morris just getting into swing of things. Exactly 7. He just needs that goal. And then Terry says Morris 7 worked hard. Yeah, fair enough. And then obviously the last player that started, obviously Elijah. You know, decent from him yet again. You know, he's continuing that work rate, I would say. You know, still doing well. As for rating for Elijah, I'll go with 7.
I'll give him a slight 7.5. He was more involved. Like Morris worked hard, but I feel like Elijah was more of an outlet and stuff, and you know, he was winning quite a lot, you know, and he was tracking back as defensively as well. He was pretty decent, and you know, he's definitely enjoying his football at the moment. Obviously, yeah, did score, but you know, that happens. But I feel he was pretty decent at 7.5.
Yep, no, fair enough. Jackie's gone Elijah 7.5. So there you go. So yeah, that's fair enough. And then moving on to players that come on. Obviously, we'll start off with Campbell. Obviously, looked good when he come on. You know, like we said earlier, you know, the way he won the ball back at one point. You know, you can tell the Prem quality's there. Do you know what I mean? You know, like I said, when we signed him, very similar, in my opinion, to us signing Snodgrass last season in, the sense of the calibre of the player in that sense. And yeah, he was good. It was a decent debut from him, to be honest. And, I know he's a good player anyway. So I sort of knew what I was going to be expected to see in that sense. As for a rating, I'll go for 7.
Yeah, I agree. Like I say, he defended, he sort of took it away down the byline, sort of passed it, but he cleared it. It went to them.
Yeah.
But he didn't put a foot wrong when he come on. He was composed when he had the ball and was always, they putting him under pressure, but he still was like, getting his passes off and things like that. So I thought it was, pretty decent considering like it could have went the other way. Sometimes if you bring players on and they're not quite ready, they get overrun and things like that. But he allowed that not to happen. He's an intelligent player as well. I like him. I'll give him a 7.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Excuse me. Everyone else's ratings, ones for earlier as well. Adabo, he still works hard, never say die attitude. 7.5 says Stephen. Yeah, true, especially at the moment. Terry's got 8 for Elijah. Fair enough. Marvelous. He has something about him. Very excited. There's more to come. Yeah, exactly. 7 says Stephen. Yeah, fair enough. That is fair enough. And then player that come on at the same time. Stephen's rating here is going to be interesting. Fred. He was good when he come on again. He's just providing even more to what we've already got in the sense where we just attack even more, go at the opposition team even more. And yeah, I thought he done well when he come on. I'm going to go with another 7.
Yeah, same. Like he was good going forward. Always looked threat. You knew when he got the ball that he was willing to run it. Winning the throw-ins and stuff. His defensive games seems to have improved as well, which is the initial thing. I thought, he's not really. But if the team's not really, if they've had like none or one shot on target by the 75th minute, the chances are that they're not really going to offer much after that. So it's all right to bring him on in that respect. You know what I mean? And he is a big, strong lad as well. And he can tackle, but it's not his normal game. He's better going forward, and you can see that. But he did affect the game when he come on. Definitely made us continue to keep pressure on him. So 7.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Jackie's rating for Marvelous is 7. Same with Fred, 7 as well. Same as us. Fred done a job, I guess, 6.5. Yeah, there you go. You're starting to notice now, aren't you? So there we go with that one. And then the last sub was Woodrow with 20 minutes left, bit later on. And yeah, he was decent when he come on again. He was up front this time. And they just steadied things up, like we said earlier, really, and helped out even more in that sense when they come on. I'm going to go with another 7.
Yeah, I'll give him a 7. I think there was a chance, can't remember it was, where they had the opportunity to pass it to him, but they didn't. They went for the shot. I can't remember. It might have been Elijah, or it was someone, and he was in the space, and he would have just tapped it in. So he's getting in them positions. He's hungry to score. Just want him to score. He got close with the header as well, and he was involved. Quite again, the same as kind of like Fred was. So 7 as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely with that one. But yeah, they are the player ratings for. So I'm just putting the phone in charge for the Stoke City game at home. Obviously, another win, back-to-back home wins. Obviously, that's good as well, especially coming up with the games thick and fast. Our next 3 games are all away, including obviously tomorrow's. So yeah, it's good to do that, and hopefully when we come back to home, even though it's going to be a big ask, a tough ask against a good Burnley side, best team in the league. It's a bit obvious, isn't it? It's going to be a difficult one, but hopefully we can get some sort of result. That'd be brilliant. But obviously we'll get into that nearer the time. And it was good to get one over Stoke. Obviously that was the first win as well since the 2000s at home against them, which was crazy. Which was actually a 2-1 win back then. So I thought we've been breaking records. I thought we'd do something similar like we said, both confident that we was gonna win the game, and yeah, we did. Any final thoughts you want to say on it, all done?
No, maybe we might have to straighten the pitch up a little bit for the next game. I think probably.
Dear. Yeah, no, absolutely, yeah. We got to do that, and we. But just your last player ratings quickly. Woodrow, normal position. Unlucky not to have an opportunity to score. Right position's all good. 7. Yeah, exactly, mate. Exactly. I thought everyone played well, says Jackie. Really enjoyed the game. Yeah, it's one of them where sometimes you just have to dig deep for the... Well, not necessarily dig deep in this game, but just, sometimes they're not overly convincing games for large spells, but as long as you get the result, it doesn't really matter. And that's what we've done, really, I would say. Started off really well, and then, like I said, Stoke got back into it, but they didn't really cause much. So it's one of them, really. Yeah. Jackie says, I won my bet as well. She keeps doing that. She keeps winning the bets. So there you go. There you go. That's always good. 6 wins. Put off 7. Sheffield United looking over their shoulder. Yeah, in fact, I was a little bit surprised about their result, to be fair. Saying that, though, Rotherham do have decent record at home this season. We've got them soon, actually, which is going to be an interesting one. Well, I don't know if it's soon, but I know we've still got to play them away. So we'll see. We'll see. We're getting called weirdos, Dad, by someone called Carrot Edging.
This guy, this little muppet, just block it.
Mate, I don't even care, because at the end of the day, they're still actually helping gain the interaction with the channel, so I couldn't really give a toss. Even if you put a dislike, mate, I don't care.
Finished his tea or something, mate.
Yeah, innit?
Before he goes,
T-boy, you're a G. Big up yourself, whoever you are. Big up yourself. So yeah, there we go with that one. But yeah, moving on to FA Cup replays. Obviously, we've already done one of them this season. We've got to do another one away. That is obviously against Grimsby. We did put up a very good game against us. We have to give credit where it's due. Shame. We weren't so great defensively, but is what it is. We take them on away Tuesday night tomorrow. I've heard quite a lot of Luton fans are going up from what I'm hearing, so fair play to all of them that do go, especially midweek. Replay as well in the FA Cup. I wish I could go, but unfortunately I'm not. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. Obviously, we know the winner will play Southampton. Like we said, it would be class if it is us, of course, especially if obviously Nath Joe's there. I would say Bree, but obviously he wouldn't be able to play. But, still that sort of thing. How are you feeling going into this one, Dad?
Yeah, pretty confident. We ain't got a great record away against them overall, so it might not be as easy as we think, but we should be putting them to bed, really. I think their best players, McAtee, and he's our player. He won't be playing. And we should, they'll try. They're a bit home. They have a good crowd there. But I'm sure the players will be well aware of that. Whoever takes on the game. So I think we'll be all right. Feeling quite confident, and obviously the prize against our old manager, Southampton, a chance. I want to beat them just to shut their fans up as well, because they won't. Nathan Jones is a big part of this squad, so do him a bit of justice. Like I said before, he's not really in. If they sack him after that, that's just ridiculous. That's embarrassing. You lose to the team that you poached off of. You can't be doing that. That just makes you look ridiculous. Almost belittles their decision in the first place. So I can't see that happening. But it'd be a world draw. He knows exactly how we play. Like we discussed it before, but it's whether the players will be up for it. Maybe they will, because they'll go, well, actually, we should be beating it. They want to prove that they're, so that'll be a mental game. We already know it's going to be on TV.
I've already said that.
True. But I think it might be a bit tough at first, but I think eventually we'll overpower them and beat them relatively comfortably.
Yeah, Yeah, no, fair enough. Big up Kenny says, I reckon replace Luton with City in it. Obviously, he's a United fan.
Right.
Oh dear, that'd be class. But obviously, banter and that. Better away from home. Everybody going for fresh fish and chips. And for a game, we have the edge on the tie due to getting Southampton. Yeah, no, yeah, you'd think that. You'd think that. Just with the sense, what's on the line. Like we said, what is on the line? It just seems like it's written in that sense. But we'll see. We will see with that one. What I'm going to do is something I don't usually tend to do, but I might actually start doing it going forward before we get into the lineup, and also it'll help when they do stuff like this. So obviously, Rob Edwards had his post match earlier on today. Why is my screen not wanting to share? And basically, he said a bit about injury news and stuff like that. If it doesn't let me share it, then I'll end up just saying it. Yeah, do you know what? I'm just going to end up saying it because it's just, I don't know what's going on with this laptop at the moment. But basically, what he said is, so he got asked about, no, we're getting somewhere. No, we're getting somewhere. Slowly but surely, we're getting somewhere. So bear with me while I share the screen. But basically, it was just about Sonny Bradley and Lansbury. They won't be available for tomorrow. But Sonny Bradley is back on the grass, and Lansbury is there. Sounds it. So he's Sonny Bradley's out on the grass. He's not trained with the boys yet, but he's progressing nicely. We don't want to put too much pressure on him at the moment, but he's out there now. He's running. He's kicking balls. He's moving in different directions, so he's getting closer and closer. So yeah, there you go with that. So that's obviously good to hear. Another option in the defence. And then this is about Lansbury. Is it still a bit soon for H? He's not far off at all, but it's only been less than a week of proper full training with the squad. We're dead keen to get him back, of course, but we've got to make sure that we do things right. He's doing well, doing really well, but we don't want to push him and he breaks down, and that won't be the case. We'll make sure we get it right. So, yeah, Lansbury is, well, from the sounds of that, it sounds like he'll be back quicker to Sonny Bradley, but obviously we don't want to rush it in that sense, which is totally understandable. I think there might have been time we'd done it not too long ago, and I can't remember. Correct me if I'm wrong, Dad, or if anyone knows in the chat, but I think we brought them back and they got injured like straight away. I can't remember who it was, but it just wasn't. It wasn't ideal. But that's good to hear, isn't it? More options. Obviously, Lansbury as well.
Yeah, going forward, it might be a couple of weeks. For Lansbury, I think he'll start going on the bench, and Bradley maybe a month. But we've still got enough anyway to definitely be beating Grimsby anyway.
Yeah.
So it's all positive anyway, because we are a little bit light defensively considering Potts is out. Dremay's cup tied, I think.
Yes. Yeah, he is, because he played for Leeds against Cardiff.
Yeah, I'm not sure about Marvellous. He might be as well. I'm not sure. I'm
not sure. Yeah, let us know. I'm not sure
if
he played.
I don't think he is, but yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's just good to hear.
We don't need to rush them back. That's the thing.
No, we don't.
At the moment to deal with it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's just then, more options. With Cambia coming in as well. Obviously, he is a CDM, so it's not like we're proper reliant on that sense if we do want to start. Because I remember a couple of games away from home, I was saying if Lansbury was in, then maybe we can go with a CDM. But obviously, we have got Cambia there, and it'd be good to have the more options, of course. But yeah, like you say, we don't need to rush them. Do not need to rush them. But yeah, what I'll do is go through some comments and then I'll get into lineups. And also, if you put your score predictions now, I know a few people have, I'll star them and then we'll go through them at the end. Where was I? There's Kenny's predictions. I'll star that. Stoke in trouble, aren't they? Near the bottom. They're definitely in the battle. think they're only a few points away from it. So, yeah, it's one of them with that one. But yeah, that is that. What we'll get into now is the lineup that we would go with tomorrow. So there we go with that. So goalkeeper, I'm going to go Ethan because he has played in the FA Cup games. Oh, I did not mean to go on that. So yeah, I'm going to go Ethan because he has played in the cup games anyway. The back three, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with. I'll probably go Osho. Give Burke a rest. Probably go Lockyer and you would go. What would I go with on that left? It's interesting because see on the right. I don't know who'd I go with as that other centre back. Yeah, because obviously Cody can't play.
Yeah.
So Doherty might be on the right. That's what I think. I don't know. Let me actually have a look who our other FA Cup games. See, we had Bree them times as well. And Potts, but obviously Potts is not back by the sounds of it. I don't know. It's interesting. Like looking at our game against Wigan, obviously we had Bree and Potts, etc. Yeah, this is where it's quite interesting. I don't even know, you know. Obviously Bradley's not available, like we said there. Potts is still not back. You ideally want a left footer, but
Well, I'll settle you for it. It's going to be Bell.
yeah, it's just who the hell is going to go.
We ain't got any choice. So
Yeah, we're going to have to. Yeah. Where is he? There he is. Right wing back, like I said, I think it'll be Doherty potentially. No. It's going to be Doherty on the left, I reckon.
Yeah.
And then Fred actually. I completely forgot about Fred actually. Because I'm thinking the players that usually start, etc. Midfield, I'm going to go. I'm probably going to go Campbell. He's played a lot of games in the FA Cup. Started. I'm going to go Campbell and who am I going to go with? I'm probably going to go. You know what? I'm going to go the Cambia. Say he starts this one. Then I'm going to put as a cab. I'm going to put Watson. I feel he'll start this game. Even if it isn't there, I think he'll start. And then up front, I'm going to go with. I'm going to go Woodrow and Morris. So yeah, that's a lineup I'd go with. Any changes you'd make to that, Dad? Obviously, the defence is the same.
Yeah, I'll potentially maybe see Lockyer being rested and Burke coming in, but other than that, I feel that that's probably going to be our Clark, probably Ruddock. Both of them, surely got to rest them. And then you can't. Bell, we're going to have to go with. We're forced into them kind of changes. Doughty, Fred, I don't see why he can't start there. And that's it. But yeah, strikers. I'd start Morris because I feel like he's got good opportunity to get goals against Grimsby, as is Woodrow. So yeah, and Watson's played a couple of games. He's looked good. So that's a decent midfield, actually. So Yeah, I'd start with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Stephen's lineup says Edwards should go strong. I think Osho in for Burke. Yeah, that's what I've said. Marvellous in for Campbell. Yeah, fair enough. And then I guess Fred, for fuck's sake, to be called in as a right wing back. Big up Waste as well. He says, yo, big up yourself. With that. So there we go with that. But yeah, that's the lineups we go for. It is that time, Dad. Score predictions. Now, obviously, we still are seeking revenge for that 7-1 they gave us all them years ago. Unfortunately, we weren't able to do that the first time round. Are we going to do it the second time round? Now, I'm not saying 7-1, but are we going to get revenge on them?
I think we will beat them. I don't think we're going to pace them because I just feel like, we've got to be watching. Or they've already learned that lesson from the last game. That's the interesting thing. But I think we'll just be there to get a job done, basically, and they'll frustrate. They will be up for it 100%, especially at home. But I'm going to go with 3-1 Luton. Rocky start possibly, or pressure and that, but I think, like I said earlier, we'll end up, having too much for them. They've done well to get the draw in the first place. Let's be honest. So there was a couple of defensive errors in that game. I don't expect that in this game. So yeah.
Fair enough. Obviously, we tend to be better away as well. I know it's a cup and that, but still, we tend to be better. So yeah, fair enough. 3-1. I'm going with a win as well. I'm going a little bit closer, just a little bit. I'm going 2-1. Going 2-1 Luton. I think it might be similar to Wigan in that sense where it might be like close for a little bit, and then I think we'll get it over the line in that sense. So yeah, that's my one. With that one, big up yourself, mate. Says yo, big up yourself. Hope you're well. Terry's gone. I'll get into the other predictions as well. I've starred them. Terry's gone 2-1, and he went to the 7-1 as well. Jeez,
that was annoying. Didn't go to it, but
yeah. Oh God. Ugh. Sorry for you, but yeah, hopefully.
I think possibly might have went 1-0 up in that game as well.
Oh my God.
So, yeah.
That's the predictions for the fight. No, it's only 3 rounds, mate. It's only 3 rounds. That would be insane, though. Under 18's a goal up, says Jackie. Ollie with the goal. So Ollie scored again. Yeah, apparently that's on iFollow, actually. So, yeah, we'll see if I can watch that after this, actually. I think we can get job done. Won't be pretty. Yeah, that's how I feel it'll be. They'll make it, tough. Their atmosphere will be well on it. But I think in the end, we'll go over it. Imagine that. Oh, my days. But yeah, other predictions as well. Spencer said 1-0 to Luton. Yeah, fair enough. We'll take a win's a win, mate. We'll take that progression. Do you know what I mean? And if we do win 1-0, that'll be the third 1-0 in a row. So yeah, we'll see with that one. Jackie's on 2-0 or 2-1 to us. Come on, you hatters. Fair enough. Kenny reckons it'll be one of them boring sort of ones. 1-0 Luton. Yeah, I mean, whatever, mate. I'll take whatever. Do you know what I mean? As long as we progress, of course. I don't care how it is in that sense. So there we go with that one. But yeah, anything else you want to say, Dad? Final thoughts or anything before we wrap up?
Nah, we should be beating them and just kind of. I think the Southampton's a big incentive, so that should be enough.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like I said, it just seems written to me that we play Southampton, but we've got to get our job done, and hopefully we will, and we believe we will. But yeah, that is episode 83 of the Hat Show done. What I'm going to do is not do what I did the other day where I forgot to post my championship predictions. Right after this, I'm going to put my FA Cup predictions and the championship game tomorrow, rescheduled fixture between Blackpool and Huddersfield. Big 6-pointer that is at the bottom. Put my predictions out for them games. So yeah, check them out in the community posts. I'll promote them as well. And yeah, that is that. That is that. As for content, don't think there's nothing now up until Friday. Yeah, Friday. Thursday, I'll get my. Actually, no, I won't. So Friday, Hat Show. That'll be the next load of content actually on the channel. So, yeah, man, big up to everyone inside. Currently on 12 likes. Don't forget to smash that like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you are new as well. Big up to everyone. And make sure you check out the recent vlogs in the last couple of days if you haven't already as well. That would be much appreciated. And yeah, there we go with that one. Subscribe to the other channel as well, T-Boys TV Extra. Link to that is in the description. And yeah, if you want to follow me across any of my socials, link to them also in the description. And yeah, until Friday, me and my dad will see you lot in a bit. I would say I'll do a watch long, but it doesn't look like it's on anything. So yeah, unless there is last minute, then yeah, but it doesn't look like it. So until next time, we'll see you lot in a bit. Take care and peace. Come on, Luton.